Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about the film Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is another installment in my quest to review every film John Carpenter ever directed. And this isn't a proud day to be the one doing that sort of thing, because this is a 90s Chevy Chase vehicle. How basically this film came about is Chevy Chase, this is a vanity project. It's made by his production company, Cornelius Productions. And he was originally going to work on it with Ivan Reitman. And Ivan Reitman and Chevy Chase couldn't agree on a tone, really. They never could figure out what they wanted to do with it. I've read two different stories. One is that when Ivan Reitman realized that you wouldn't actually see Chevy Chase in most of it, he balked out and left. And the other is that because they really couldn't agree on tone, Ivan Reitman made them decide if they were either going to keep Ivan Reitman or Chevy Chase, but not both of them, and the studio picked Chase. And then so they brought Carpenter in, because Carpenter had a background in special effects, and I don't really know how Carpenter got this gig. It doesn't seem, I mean, I don't know. It seems like if someone had told me the basic idea at this time, I probably would have said, yeah, Carpenter could have done that. But the actual film it's more of the director of Starman and less the director of Halloween, The Thing, Escape from New York. Chevy Chase's character, who's like a sly stockbroker kind of guy, he goes to this, I guess, thing about history or something in this building, and they're testing nuclear fusion, which is a popular, you know, Carpenter loves nuclear fusion, I guess. It's in Prince of Darkness, it's in Escape from LA. So this nuclear fusion thing happens, and parts of the building are invisible. And it's a very interesting, cool special effects shot where, you know, parts of the building are invisible and other parts aren't. And Chevy Chase's character wakes up and realizes he is invisible. He's an invisible man because of this nuclear fusion accident. Suddenly other people find out that there is an invisible man because he puts on a hat when he's in the building, and people see it and realize that there is an invisible person. Sam Neill, who is an evil government agent, finds this out and realizes, you know, they could make him a spy, they could do all this amazing stuff with an invisible man, or the government could, you know, he brings up that they could kill off Hitler in 1939 and no one would know because he's invisible. He could sneak in, sneak out. He has all these possibilities, but Chevy Chase doesn't want to do that, and he goes on the run, and Sam Neill and his government agents are trying to find them while he's also trying to have a romance with Daryl Hannah. I don't think Carpenter really liked doing this movie. I think he did a little bit. It doesn't say John Carpenter's Memoirs of an Invisible Man like it does for like In the Mouth of Madness or, you know, The Fog or whatever. He loves having John Carpenter's before it, but he couldn't on this, and he talks about that on the Wikipedia page at least, and he said he knew that Warner Brothers would not allow him full artistic control, saying that the studio is in the business of making audience-friendly, non-challenging movies. And so I guess he wasn't too thrilled about doing a Chevy Chase movie. His direction's really not there. You can tell he's not really full Carpenter, and it's not really a Chevy Chase movie either. You know, it's not that funny. In this, he just doesn't feel very suited. I guess it apparently was supposed to show he could broaden his range, but this really was not the right project for that, I don't think. He just seems kind of miscast, and it's weird to be miscast in a film that an actor developed for himself. And certainly, a lot of the special effects are really great. It's one of the first films to use digital effects. And a lot of the special effects are cool, like when you see him eating or smoking and you see these invisible lungs fill up with smoke, that he has Chinese food and you can see it in his stomach and stuff like that. I actually thought worked really, really well. You can tell they combine like optical effects and digital effects, and I thought they had a really cool look to the special effects. Well, another thing that hurts this movie a lot is that, like, in The Invisible Man, like the one with Claude Rains, you just don't see him for a lot of it, you know, and I think that kind of works, and he has a more mysterious quality to him. And Chevy Chase, sometimes you can see him, but like everyone else can't, which I just think is stupid. I would have preferred if we just didn't see him. Like, we see him at the beginning of the movie, he's invisible, and we just don't see him again, and I would have been fine with that. But in this movie, for some reason, Carpenter has to, maybe it was probably a studio decision or Chevy Chase. I mean, you have a big star, you don't want him to be invisible for the entire movie, even though you're making a movie about someone who's invisible. So some shots you can see him, some shots you can't. It's just, I never liked it when I could see him. There's Chevy Chase, oh, I guess that's where he was. You know, it's just not really that interesting as a viewer. This was Carpenter's first film back with the studio since Big Trouble in Little China. He produced Prince of Darkness and They Live Independently. And he came back, I think, mostly because it was kind of a big project. Chevy Chase was still a big star at the time. I guess I'm being a completist. This is like kind of the furthest I feel like I'm going to go for Carpenter. It's not a great movie. It's not Ghosts of Mars bad, which was like the worst. It's really Carpenter being reined in by a studio. And this is how we view the studio, is like if he works for the studio, it's to make crap like this, like Starman or something. And to me, this is his real follow-up to Starman, because it's clearly something he didn't really want to do. It's like a director for hire thing. I think this is the kind of film you find at a flea market, and it's a dusty VHS jacket, and you go, oh, I've never heard of this. This sounds weird. And you might like poke your friend or put a picture on Instagram, but you'd never watch it. And please, I don't think you ever really want to. So if you've seen Memoirs of an Invisible Man and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to. I'll be back with more Carpenter next time. I forget what I'm doing. I think I'm doing something else, like Village of the Damned, maybe?